At Raju Law, we don't just provide legal services, we provide a pathway to your American dream. With offices in New York, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Dhaka, and Dubai, our global team is dedicated to delivering personalized immigration solutions. Whether you are pursuing a green card or navigating complex immigration processes, we are here to guide you at every stage. With a team of 10 associate attorneys and more than 180 law clerks and case managers, we craft solutions tailored to your unique needs. Our technology-driven platform ensures the fastest, most efficient service, saving your time while upholding the highest standards of quality. At Raju Law, we believe in affordable, transparent pricing without compromising on service excellence. Raju Law, where your American dream meets expert legal support. Contact us today.
Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Manshika Tira and I'm absolutely delighted to have you with us for another episode of Immigration for All, brought to you by Narohi Global and proudly powered by Kulna Tech. If you have been tuning in, you know that we recently rebranded our Monday Live series to Immigration for All, a name that truly reflects our mission to make immigration knowledgeable, clear, accessible, and practical for everyone. No matter where you are in your journey, and here's some exciting news. Our show is now officially available on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Whether you are commuting, working out, or just unwinding at home, you can watch all our episodes anytime, anywhere. Today, we are diving into one of our most important topic and frequently asked about areas of immigration, which is the latest updates on a family-based immigration. Family immigration remains the backbone of the US immigration system, but with changing policies involving timelines and updates, US CIS guidance, it's important to stay informed. In this episode, we will break down what's new, what's changing, and what families need to prepare for in 2025 and beyond. Now, without any further delay, let's welcome our special guest, Mr. Mahajan, Principal Attorney at Raju Law. Mr. Mahajan is highly experienced immigration attorney who has guided countless families through the US immigration system, helping them reunite with loved ones and navigate the challenges of petition, interviews, and approvals.
Sorry, my camera was turned off. I even did not notice that. Um,
No worries.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much for inviting me here. And as you said, yes, family immigration is the backbone of US immigration. So I'm going to talk about that. Let me show my slide. The stage. Yes, it is here. So as Manushi said, family-based immigration is the backbone of U.S. immigration and one of the main source of U.S. immigration. Like people from all over the world, they come to America, but often we do not hear a lot about these because many people take it as granted. Many people think it's very easy. Oh, it's so easy. I don't need to go to a lawyer. I don't need an expert opinion about this because this is such an easy thing to do. I can just fill up some forms and then my parents, my sibling, my spouse, my children, they will just come to America. However, let me tell you one fact. The number one category where people get rejected or denied about US immigration is the family-based immigration. And the reason, there are multiple reasons why this is the number one category where people get most rejection, people get most denial, and people get most, their application get denied is family-based immigration. And the reason is family-based immigration sometimes requires a long waiting period. So the people Like, let's say, the people who applied for their siblings back in 2007 or 8, their application is processing now. Let's see, there's like a 14, 15 years gap in family based application in some categories, of course, from some countries. On the Similarly, there's many other categories. There's like even like a longer kind of waiting period for people from India, China, Mexico, and Philippines. So what happens is, let's say your brother applied for you 14 years ago. That time he submitted some documents, some information, and now he has no idea where those documents are. He cannot remember what information he provided in I-130 14 years ago. Now he needs to provide information about that. So a lot of time people lose documents, people forget about informations, people's life get changes, relationship get changes. Let's say 14 years ago, your brother, the relationship between you and your brother was very good, and that's why he applied, but now the relationship is not as good. That's why he or she is not interested to move forward this application. So there's many reasons why this is the number one category where people get rejected or denied. So today we are going to discuss about the latest changes, latest updates about family based immigration. And of course, this is such a giant area of immigration. I cannot definitely cover everything, so I'll try my best to give you some information. But please remember that you have to be very careful about family based immigration. There are certain things that you need to pay attention every time you do something. Let me go to the next slide. So these are the common themes, common things that you need to double check all the time you do something. Validity of the form. Let me give you just who oversee, like American government agency who oversee immigration, they keep change it all the time. They update it. They change. So they will delete some of the questions. They may add some of the questions. They may rephrase a question. So they constantly update the form I-130, and it's same for all forms. U.S. government change the form all the time. So when you submit a I-130 form or any kind of form, please double check the validity of the form. Is this the latest form? Please always fill up the latest form. If you submit a form that was valid 3 months ago but not valid anymore, your application would be rejected, denied, or simply sometimes just returned, like, hey, sorry, we cannot accept your form because this is an older form. So always check the validity of the form. Answer all questions properly. This is I cannot say more about this. A lot of people, even highly educated people, they answer questions improperly. I saw that a lot. And the best way to answer all questions properly is every form comes with a explanation. So there's another PDF. Every form has a couple other another form that is the explanation of all the questions and how to answer properly. You can find it in the USCIS website. A lot of people have no idea about this form, about this PDF document. Every form has the explanation document. Please review that document. They will answer all of the, like, they will explain all the questions so that you can answer properly. And of course, I highly recommend you to go to a lawyer, attorney who is expert about this, but at least check that explanation document before you answer any questions. Fee required. USCIS constantly update fees. Today, probably the fee is $535. Tomorrow, it can be $545. It's only $10. But if you submit $535, they are going to return your application. They're not going to accept your application. That's why always double check the fee required. Required documents. I cannot say enough about this thing. There is a certain number of documents. There's a very specific documents they need, and it's all mentioned in the USCIS website. Still, a lot of people will not submit all required document, and then USCIS will return your application, reject your application, refuse your application. Please submit all required documents and information. Sign properly. A lot of people, I don't know why, a lot of people, they forget to sign. They will sign in a way that it does not meet the requirement for USCIS. So please sign properly and send to the right address. USCIS has multiple address for different forms. Even the same form like I-485 can go to 3 or 4 different places. So you have to find the right address and send it to the right place, right? Otherwise your application will be denied. All right, so let me talk about some recent changes. So increased scrutiny and risk of denial. So this is common for all application. Beginning of this year, when we have a new president under new administration, there's a lot of new changes in immigration, especially in family-based immigration. There's a lot of changes. So USCIS is now more likely to deny applications without a request for evidence or notice of intent to deny, especially if the applicant is not represented by legal counsel. This means that even minor errors or omission in application can lead to denial. So typically what happens is, when a USCIS officer see that certain document is missing, certain information is missing, they used to issue RFE, request for evidence, or notice of intent to deny, NOID. But recently we see that they're not even issuing RFE, they're not even issuing a NOID, they're just denying it because, hey, it's your responsibility to submit everything to me. It's not my job to issue RFE or NOID just to collect those information. It is your responsibility. If you do not follow your responsibility, it's not my obligation to approve or deny it. I'm just denying it, right? So please be careful about the thing I just said. Otherwise, your case may be denied. Potential for referral to immigration court. We see that if an application is denied and the applicant lack legal status in the US, they may be referred to immigration court, potentially facing deportation proceeding. This is applicable for the folks, those who are already in America, especially in marriage-based applications. So let's say you got married to a US citizen and your US citizen spouse applied for you, but you do not have any other status. You're not in student visa or valid visa or any other status. And then your spouse-based, your marriage-based application got denied. What happens? You're out of status. So what happens in this scenario is they will refer your case to immigration court. Potentially, you will face deportation. I know it's very sad, it's very dangerous, but this is the recent trend. Stricter CSPA age calculation. So I'm not going that detail into CSPA here because it's a whole new discussion. In short, CSPA means Child Status Protection Act. Under US immigration, any child under the age of 21 will accompany parents when the parents get US green card. However, this age 21 is very hard to calculate. It was harder before. A lot of people are confused. Even a lot of educated people are confused about CSPA age calculation. Now USCIS, they made it even stricter. The CSPA calculation for determining a child's age for immigration purposes now uses only the stricter final action dates. In visa bulletin, there is 2 dates: final action date and date for applying, right? So now they're only following final action dates, not date for applying, chart from the visa bulletin, potentially causing more children to age out and lose their eligibility for family-based immigration. So please be careful about CSPA age calculation. Please pay attention. Fee waivers, application cost. Fee increases. Of course, recently there's a fee increase. Expanded eligibility for reduced fees. This is a good thing for immigrants. There are certain eligibility. If you meet those eligibility, you can apply for fee waiver or reduced fees. And they expanded it, which is good. But you have to apply in a certain way. You have to follow certain guidelines so that you will be eligible for this benefit. And fee waivers and changes to filing procedures. So there's a lot of changes. Please pay attention. Online filing expansion. So previously there's only 2 or 3 forms that you could file online. Most of other forms you had to file in like a paper copy, print it, sign it, and make a physical mail to USCIS. But recently they expanded the number of the forms. So these are the forms like I-129F, I-130, I-131, I-360, I-751, I-129, I-140, I-539, and I-565. Sorry, 765. These are the forms you can file online. So the good thing about online is, in online application, if you answer a question improperly, sometime they will say, hey, you answered improperly, please fix it. Even before you submit, enter the submit button. Like for example, date of birth. If you put a wrong date of birth, and by wrong mean like a numerically impossible kind of date of birth. Let's say month. If you click 13 or 14 in month, that's not possible because every year there's 12 months. Like December is the last month. But let's say accidentally you wrote 13 or 14. They'll say, hey, you did not fill up the form properly. Please fix it, which is good because in paper version, if you write 13 in the month, in the space per month, there's no way to tell you, hey, it's wrong. And then it will go to USCIS. They are going to return that form to you. So this is good thing about online filing, and they expanded it, which is good thing. And my prediction is down the line, there'll be even more forms in online filing. So it's good for us. It's a time saving. It's beneficial for many different purposes. So short point is USCIS has expanded number of forms. I just read those name of those forms. But again, before submitting any form, please double check if this is the latest information. All right, stricter vetting and public safety checks. Additional background checks and public safety vetting protocols have been implemented for all family-based cases. There's a lot of fraud. You know that, many people know that there's a lot of fraud in family-based application. That's why there's a strict vetting and public safety checks. And trust me, a lot of applications got denied recently because of this stricter vetting and a lot of like background check. So please be careful. Disability exception to naturalization. So naturalization means citizenship application. Once you get green card, in general, after 5 years, you'll be eligible for citizenship application. It is called naturalization application. In naturalization examination, if you are disabled, there are some exceptions for you. However, people used to take advantage of that. Even they're not disabled, they claim that, hey, I'm a disabled person. So they try to get like a fake document, medical document from doctors. This is a common thing. So USCIS is changing how we process Form N648. This is the form for disability exception, by focusing greater attention on the veracity of medical certification and identification and prevention of fraud. They're paying extra attention, so please be careful. Do not submit anything that is not right. That may even cause denial for your entire application. So please be careful. So that was my short presentation today. If there's any question, I'm happy to answer. Otherwise, going back to Manushi.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mahajan, for such a clear and insightful explanation. Family-based immigration touched so many lives, and your breakdown helps bring much needed clarity. I'm sure our audience feel more confidence about the process and the latest update. Now, I would like to wrap up the whole session. And to all our wonderful audience, thank you so much for joining us today, whether you are filing a petition for a spouse, parents, child, or a sibling. We hope this episodes gave you the information you need to plan ahead. Immigration for All goes live every Monday at 11 a.m. EST, 9 p.m. Bangladeshi time, 7 p.m. Dubai timing, that is GST. So make sure to mark your calendars. And that's all for today's episodes. And as always, stay tuned for a few immigration news updates right after this outro. Until next time, take care. We will see you next week on Immigration for All.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's immigration update from Raju Law. Every week we bring you the most important immigration news, USCIS announcements and policy shifts that may impact you and your loved ones. Here are this week's top stories. USCIS tightens CSPA rules. New September visa bulletin shows limited changes. Trump alters human rights report. USCIS blocks trans women in sports visas. Now the details. This week, one of the biggest updates concerns the Child Status Protection Act or CSPA. From August 15, 2025, USCIS will use only the stricter final action dates chart to decide a child's age under the Child Status Protection Act. This change replaces the dates for filing chart and will cause more young immigrants to lose child status after turning 21. Applications filed earlier remain under old rules. Turning to visa wait times, the September 2025 visa bulletin keeps most green card wait times unchanged. F2A moved forward 2 months for all countries and the Philippines F3 advanced 5 months. All employment-based categories remain the same, with EB4 still closed until the new fiscal year begins. Other categories showed no movement this month. In another update, the Trump administration has revised the Human Rights Report. The Trump administration has changed the latest US Human Rights Report to downplay problems in allied countries like Israel and El Salvador, while focusing criticism on the UK, Brazil, and South Africa. Mentions of LGBTQ+ rights and Gaza's crisis were mostly removed. Critics say the edits make the report political. Finally, USCIS has changed rules for sports visa eligibility. USCIS has issued a new rule stopping transgender women from applying for visas to compete in women's sports. The policy affects O1A, EB1, EB2, and national interest waiver cases. Only athletes assigned female at birth qualify. Past competition in women's events by male-born athletes will also count against eligibility. That wraps up this week's immigration news. Stay connected with Raju Law for more updates, insights, and guidance. We will see you next week with the latest developments in US immigration.